I'd now like to welcome Wade Zamechek, who serves as Director of Development at Village Healthworks, an organization confronting extreme poverty in rural Burundi. Village Healthworks has been one of PWRDF's partners in the All Mothers and Children Count program. Wade has more than a decade of fundraising experience with a focus on healthcare philanthropy. He lives with his wife and 2 children outside New York City and travels often to Burundi. So welcome, Wade.
Yeah, it's been nice to talk to you. This is my second time joining this call. It's been lovely to speak to some of you over the phone and see all of your faces. I'm going to read my reflection, but I just wanted to first of all say thank you to PWRDF for your long-standing partnership and solidarity. It means a lot to us. Recent events have provided an opportunity for deep reflection. I find myself both intensely saddened and yet grateful in the face of this crisis that has taken over every one of our lives. I hope that my perspective will shine a light on Burundi and what my colleagues are doing to prepare in the face of this global pandemic. We live in a world too often marred by personal gain and neglect of social awareness. Unfortunately, it has taken a global pandemic for the human population to step back, look inward, and appreciate what truly matters: family, health, and the planet that we inhabit. As we watch the virus spread around the world, without discrimination of where or whom it infects, we are forced to reassess both our priorities and our values. It has challenged us to remove the importance we place on the material aspects of life and refocus on the essential components that reinforce life: nutritious food, clean air and water, and adequate health care. Over the last 2 years, I've traveled over 10 times to visit my colleagues at Village Healthworks in rural Burundi. Burundi is truly one of the most beautiful places on earth. It presents a complex health context which emanates from poverty, protracted conflict, and a weakened health system. No number of statistics can prepare you for the dire reality of what it means to live in Burundi, the poorest country in the world. On a recent trip, I visited a refugee camp of recent returned Burundians from Tanzania as part of a nutrition campaign that PWRDF sponsors. The children, in their tattered clothes, were obviously malnourished, as many of the people lacked land to farm. It was a stark reminder that the inability to predict what the near future holds is an unfamiliar feeling for most of us. But in a country like Burundi, this feeling is entwined with everyday action. This COVID crisis has given many of us the opportunity to reflect on how fortunate we are that we do not have to live with this burden of fear and uncertainty every day of our lives, how grateful we are to have access to the seemingly simple yet fundamental aspects of life: healthcare, nutritious food, and a roof over our heads. This pandemic has forced all of us to experience a fragment of what people living in low-income countries experience every day, and has provided us with an opportunity to stand in solidarity with those less fortunate. Village Healthworks has been preparing since mid-March to confront COVID infections. We've been hoping for the best while preparing for the worst. With limited pre-positioned resources, our strategy is based on effective containment through protecting patients, health workers, and members of our community, as well as realizing that we can only treat what we can treat. Thanks to the quick work of our procurement team, we have over 124,000 gloves and over 5,000 N95 masks. We've been producing our own hand sanitizer, and our sewing co-op has been making about 100 sewing homemade masks each day, made out of beautiful Katenge fabric. I wish we could bring them over here. They're really gorgeous. We've also implemented changes to reduce congestion at our clinic by increasing home visits and nutritional support. We're only seeing 80 patients a day as opposed to 150 to 180 at our clinic. We're spacing prenatal visits throughout the week to about 25 a day and setting up tents complete with hand washing stations to promote physical distancing. To end, I'd like to end with some sentiments from 2 teachers from our local schools. Their names are Sandrine and Peter. This is 2 people who, like most Burundians, have dealt with tuberculosis, HIV outbreaks, political violence their entire lives, and I think their sentiments is worth reflecting on. Asked if there was anything Sandrine wanted to share with her friends in North America. She said, "Don't be afraid. Don't focus on the virus too much. When we are afraid, the immune system gets weaker." Her colleague Peter added, "We hear it's bad over there. In all of the world, people are dying, but you know this will pass. Life goes on. We empathize. We feel with them. We support you from afar." So thank you guys, and I'm excited to come back on in a little bit and introduce Fabrice and the Village Healthworks band. I think it's a real treat to have them here today. So Fabrice and the Village Healthworks band just plays an important role in a lot of things that Village Healthworks does. And so, for example, I was talking about being in a refugee camp recently. What we do with the band is that, we would go into the camp and set up our tents and start to do nutritional training, but no one would show up. And so what the band does is they start to play, and you'll see people coming out of these villages to listen to the band, and they draw people in. And once we've got a critical mass, the music stops and we start to do these nutritional training. It's a very unique Burundian way of getting people to come in and do these types of nutritional training. So they do play an essential role in a lot of the work we do. They also play a great role in communicating important messages about sexual health, safety, nutrition, and there's unique songs that they have. Today, they're going to be singing a song about hope and honor. It's called Ubuntu. Other than that, take it away.
Jambo, Gendero Bonduli Jambo, Ekitizo Kwaruka, kugira ngo muri kazoza tutokere icyumba n'ijambo, kugira ngo muri kazoza tutoke icyumba n'ijambo, tubara urukundo n'ibikoma cyiza kitugambe, tubara urukundo n'ibikoma cyiza kitugambe, nitubwire ko turarangije impanuro ziziragaruka, nitubwire ko turarangije impanuro ziziragaruka. Ego, ego nityo, umuntu muri. Ego, ego nityo, umuntu muri. Ego, ego nityo, ego, ego nityo, umuntu muri. Mutagira amashurwe, umutima utagira urukundo, mutagira amashurwe, ego nityo, ego nityo, umuntu buriya, umutima utagira urukundo, ni nk'umurima utagira amashurwe, umutima utagira urukundo, ni nk'umurima utagira amashurwe.